What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today? Hope you're excited because today we're back with another top 5 trending young gun video. Very excited for this one. Today we're doing top 5 trending young guns for the month of June 2025. Very far from January. Top 5 young guns for June 2025. As per usual, this is not financial advice. Please invest in sport cards at your own risk. All graphs will be courtesy of Sport Card Investor for PSA 10 young guns in US dollars. And please remember, this is just my list. It's not the right list. Let me know your guys' list down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's completely free. Change your mind anytime. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, let's get things started with number 5. Kicking us off here at number 5, someone was actually kind of surprised to see here on this list, but to me it makes sense. It is actually Connor Baddard of the Chicago Blackhawks. He is trending right now in the month of June 2025 when he's not playing hockey. And I think the reason is people might have realized that the crash out on Connor Baddard during his sophomore year was a little bit over-exaggerated, just like the hype was a little bit over-exaggerated. I think his cards find a value somewhere between their max value and what they were at the middle point of the season, where it completely just crashed out in value. Connor Baddard, he didn't have a terrific sophomore season, but he still had a pretty good one. He just didn't really improve on his numbers from his rookie season, and I think people are starting to realize that next year might be a big year for Baddard, so I think people are buying up his cards here now early. I think that's kind of a smart move. We'll see if he continues the trend throughout the summer or if it starts to level off. As you can see, looking at his numbers, Connor Baddard had 70 points in his second full season, I guess his first full season because he got hurt last year, but that is a drop-off, or at least a line with how he did last year with 61 points in 68 games, so the hype wasn't really there during the year for Baddard, but I think it will really pick up next year if he's able to crack that point per game mark and maybe even be above that. Maybe he hits 100 points next year and his cards go crazy. I definitely think that's a possibility. I think once Chicago gets good, no matter what happens, I think Baddard's cards will go up. So there's a lot of hype around him, so I definitely don't hate buying Baddard right now. And taking a look at the Sport Card Investor graph here over the last month, and once again, not a sponsor or anything, we can see they're kind of all over the place. One sold for as low as 440 US, but one recently sold for as high as 600 US, so that is a pretty significant increase. And the sales as of late have all been around that like 500, 520, 560 range. So I do see this card increasing a little bit. I think that's people just buying early in preparation for next year. And maybe Chicago goes out, they make some nice free agent ads. Maybe they're going to be a better team next year. Maybe not. That's also a possibility. But no matter what happens, as long as Baddard's healthy, I think he should have a better season next year. That's at least my expectations. All right, and next on number 4, let's talk about someone that's actually playing hockey right now. I was surprised he was on this list. It's Stuart Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers. Now, Stuart Skinner, I'm recording this after Game 4, and where he just got yanked. You guys will be seeing this video after Game 5, so maybe they end up starting him. I doubt it. I think they're going to go with Pickard. I'm not sure what the outcome of Game 5 is going to be, but after Game 4, it looks like he's kind of lost to net, even though he played okay. Like, I thought he played well, but and Calvin Pickard just put on a show. I don't see how they don't go back to him. But his young guns are trending because he's been playing pretty solid. Like, he hasn't been as horrible as people have been giving him crap for, and he's had a pretty good final to this point. So his cards have been trending over the past month or so. To me, I think this is a great selling opportunity for Stuart Skinner, because if you look at his numbers this year in the regular season, 896 save percentage, 891 save percentage in the playoffs. That's just below league average. I think Stuart Skinner is a very average starter, if not below average starter in the NHL. I think there's a lot of hype around him right now because of the Oilers. I would be honestly shocked if he's still the Oilers starting goaltender next season. So I think this is a pretty good time to sell. If you think they're going to win the cup and you think somehow he's going to get the net back, like I said, I haven't seen Game 5 yet, so I don't know. Maybe you can hold him and hope that they win the cup and his cards go up even further. But honestly, if I had a Stuart Skinner PSA 10 Young Guns, I'd probably be looking to sell right now. Taking a look at his graph here, you can see about a month ago, there were some between like 30 and 40 US, and recently a bunch have been selling around like the 60 to 70 range. So that's a pretty significant increase there for Stuart Skinner. So like I said, I think it's a perfect selling time. I don't think Stuart Skinner's an elite goaltender by any means. Of course, you're welcome to disagree with me. I just don't think he's got the longevity to make his cards hold substantial value long term in the hobby. So I think this is a great selling opportunity. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. All right, Stuart Skinner was a pretty easy one for me, but at number 3, this one's a little more tricky when I start to think about it. At number 3, it's the other guy at the end of the rank. It's Sergei Bobrovsky of the Florida Panthers, and I think without a doubt, Sergei Bobrovsky has proved that he's an elite goaltender. He is basically a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes now that this final is kind of unfolding. And with this final and last year and the year before and all the success he's had throughout his career, the big upset when he was on Columbus and they beat Tampa, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt. I just don't know how his young guns is affected by that. He's an elite goaltender. Goaltending is typically hard to sell and maintain value in the hobby. His young guns, I've said this a couple times in videos, his young guns on the Philadelphia Flyers, usually when your young guns is not on the team you play for, that hurts the card's value. Bobrovsky's not really known for playing for the Flyers. Like, people remember him playing for the Flyers, but when I think Sergei Bobrovsky, I immediately think of the Florida Panthers and then the Columbus Blue Jackets. I just don't think of Philly, so that definitely hurts his card's value for young guns, at least in my eyes. But he's an elite goaltender, so he has been trending, of course, because of his play. Taking a look at his stats this season, complete night and day difference between him and Stuart Skinner. He had a 906 save percentage here in the regular season, and in the playoffs, he's had a 912. Very impressive stuff. We'll see if he can get it done here and get himself a second Stanley Cup. Very impressive stuff. So let's take a look at the graph here. Taking a look at his graph, you can see last month one sold for as low as 243, one recently sold for as high as 370. This graph is basically just a straight projection upwards. Honestly, I'm going to recommend selling Bobrovsky. Like I said, this isn't financial advice or anything. Don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot on YouTube blabbing for entertainment. But anyways, I would probably sell Bobrovsky Young Guns PSA 10 if I had it right now, because one, he's Russian. Unfortunately, Russians in the hobby, they don't get collected as much as like other players do. It's just fact. It's unfortunate, but it's true. The Young Gun thing with his jersey not being on the same team, and yeah, honestly, I just don't think he's that popular player, and he doesn't really have the card market. Like, Florida's not a great card market, so I think this is a good time to sell Bobrovsky cards because he's got a lot of attention right now. Up next, number 2 is a guy absolutely playing lights out in the Cup final, and his Young Guns is trending because of that. It's Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers. Now, similar to Sergei Bobrovsky, he's not on the same team. He's on Calgary in his Young Gun picture, so that does definitely hurt him, and his Young Guns is trending, and rightfully so. He's going to get an absolute payday come July 1st from whatever team signs him. I kind of think he's going to end up signing in Florida and just staying at like a cheaper cap hit, kind of similar to what Reinhart did last season. That's kind of what I see him doing. But if he doesn't, I think this is it could end up being a pretty big payday for Sam Bennett. I think there's an NHL team out there with his Stanley Cup final performance willing to give him $10 million, and I just don't think Sam Bennett's a $10 million player. I really don't. So I could see the card market turning on him if he ends up signing like a huge contract and he underperforms, because 51 points in the regular season, but he has 21 points in 21 games in the playoffs so far. He only had 41 in the previous regular season. He's not like a huge like point scorer during the regular season, and as much as people are only focused on playoff success, a lot of like the contract talks are based around regular season stuff, like awards and stuff like that. So if you're ending up paying Sam Bennett $10 million, yes, I think he's a terrific playoff player. I just think it's possible that he doesn't put up the point totals people expect, and people start turning against him on like a hobby wise, and people similar to like Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse, he's a really good defenseman. He's just overpaid. I think that could end up being the situation for Sam Bennett here. So one sold last month for as low as 115 US, one recently sold for as high as 141 US. Honestly, I would probably sell Sam Bennett right now. It is possible he does something else crazy in the Cup final yet to come, and his cards go up even further. That is a possibility. Maybe somehow he wins the Conn Smythe and he goes up even further. That is a possibility. The only way I see the season ending with Florida losing the Cup final and Sam Bennett's Young Guns going up is if he would like sign with Toronto. I think if he stays in Florida, his Young Guns would either stay the same or go down. I think if he goes anywhere else, probably but Toronto, maybe Montreal. If he went Montreal, his cards might go up. I don't think Montreal's going to go for him, but Toronto definitely will. He would probably go up in that case. But honestly, I think it's just a good selling opportunity for Bennett. Coming in number 1, honestly, to me, it's no surprise who's at number 1 here. For you, it might be Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers has put on a historical playoff run. He just scored his 4th playoff overtime goal of this playoffs last night from the day I'm recording this. Absolutely crazy stuff. He's become just an absolute clutch player, big time performer, and yeah, honestly, I think he'd be getting a lot more attention if he didn't play on the Oilers with McDavid. I think his cards would be worth even more, but even with McDavid, they're still worth pretty good. And yeah, Leon Draisaitl definitely, at least in my opinion, a top 3 NHL player at this point in his career. Taking a look at his stats, 106 points in this regular season, same total as last year. He's got 32 points so far through the playoffs. Crazy. I think there's a very strong chance he wins the Conn Smythe if Edmonton were to win the Stanley Cup. And if he did, I definitely think his cards would go up. So unlike the other two, I kind of be okay with holding Draisaitl for a little bit longer just to see if they do end up winning the Cup. Because if they do, I think it's almost for certain he's going to win the Conn Smythe unless McDavid does something spectacular and like the game clinching game, but we'll have to wait and see for that. As you can see, they're kind of all over the place, but one sold last month for as low as 650, one recently sold for as high as 850, so that's a pretty significant increase. And as you can see, the graph has started to go straight upwards. We'll see what it does from here, see if it goes back down or if it starts to level off. I think while the Cup final is going, it will kind of level off, maybe even go up if he does something else spectacular like he did last night. We'll have to wait and see, but honestly, no matter what you do with Leon Draisaitl, I think he is one of those like generational talents. He's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. Leon Draisaitl, if you hold him and you miss out on like a good selling opportunity, it's not the worst thing in the world because there'll be other selling opportunities for Leon Draisaitl. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you're brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, and comment down below anyone I may have missed on this list that you've seen trending. Let me know. This is just my list, not the right list. Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know your guys' Cup final picks down in the comments below as well. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, take care, everyone. Have a good one.